Marvel fans, buckle up. We've got crazy news. We got more details about Tom Holland Spider-Man, Doomsday, Secret Wars, and Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. Insiders have been talking about what role Tom Holland is going to play in Doomsday. Pretty epic stuff, including some updates about Robert Downey Jr.'s motivation and some things they have planned for that film. We've got interesting details about how Tom Holland is going to be filming Spider-Man 4 and Doomsday at the same friggin' time. And we have even more clarity on the Sony and Marvel contract, the new deal that they have, and how Tom Holland Spider-Man is going to pop up in these different movies. Like, epic shit, man. This all began in the wake of a lot of other news stories that we've been covering. TLDR on that. Spider-Man 4 going in a multiversal direction. Seems to be the case that Venom and Spider-Man are going to be hanging out in Spider-Man 4. Maybe KNULL's going to be in there as well. KNULL is, of course, in Venom The Last Dance. And one small detail I want to add for you guys here is I expect Tom Holland Spider-Man to actually be in Venom 3. Now, this will probably be one of those post-credit situation things. I don't know that he'll actually be in the movie in the runtime, but he's going to be in the post-credit scene. And by the way, nobody's actually reporting this, so I want to kind of be clear. I am actually speculating that this is going to happen, but I did mention it on my stream on Friday. I talked about it on Twitter a little bit as well, and I just want to put it into this video because I really believe with everything else that's going on, Tom Holland Spider-Man absolutely going to be in Venom 3. But now let's talk about a couple of reports about what kind of a role Tom Holland Spider-Man will be playing in Doomsday. First, you had Daniel RPK talking about how Tom Holland Spider-Man is going to have a huge role in Doomsday, even more significant than what he had in Infinity War. And if you remember back, Tom Holland Spider-Man is actually a decent chunk of Infinity War. I think technically Thor has more story time and screen time than Tom Holland Spider-Man, but Tom Holland Spider-Man, pretty big part of Infinity War. I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. And remember that? That was epic. Now, this lines up with old reports that were talking about how Tom Holland Spider-Man was the lead of Kang Dynasty, right? So it seems like whether or not Kang was going to be the villain or Doom was going to be the villain, the plan for the next Avengers movie was to have Tom Holland Spider-Man as the lead. And this is another reason that people think Tom Holland Spider-Man is the anchor being for the 616 universe. But then My Time to Shine Hello just said this today. And she says here in this post, which has these epic images of RDJ Doctor Doom and Tom Holland Spider-Man, she says, look, I know a lot of people here want him to be Reed Richards' nemesis, and I'm sure they'll still be rivals, but we've seen enough of their relationship already in the other 3 Fantastic Four films. And from a storytelling perspective, once they cast RDJ as Doom, it has to be Peter, who has the strongest emotional connection to him because he looks like his dead mentor. Tony had deeper emotional ties and more meaningful interactions with Peter than any other living Avenger except Rhodey and Pepper. But they are likely to have smaller roles than Peter in the Avengers films. So from a narrative standpoint, it would be a failure not to put these two at the forefront facing off against each other. Now, look, first of all, that's epic as hell. Like, it's so crazy, right? Because part of that statement implies that RDJ Doctor Doom is going to look like Tony Stark, which, I mean, I guess was obvious, but we still don't technically know if this is a Tony Stark variant or if it's just Victor Von Doom and he looks like Iron Man. But this actually makes me think that my original theory that the Tony Stark that we saw during the Infinity Saga was actually a Victor Von Doom variant that was adopted by the Starks. I think this information makes that theory more plausible. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. But either way, this is a big tease here. I mean, when you put together what Daniel is saying about the 5th Avengers movie and how Tom Holland's going to have this massive freaking role in that film, and then you put that with what My Time to Shine is saying here about Peter having this relationship with Tony Stark, that being incredibly relevant to what they're doing with Doctor Doom and Spider-Man. I mean, they are cooking something pretty epic here, and I think on the one hand, it means this Doctor Doom character is going to resemble RDJ Tony Stark. And then on the other hand, it implies that Tom Holland and Doctor Doom are going to have a major conflict in Doomsday. Now, just for a little theory time here, stealing that shit from Paul, and I'm not saying it over and over again. Theory time, no, it's just a theory time. But what I think they're cooking here is Doctor Doom's going to come into 616. He's going to need to either destroy or capture our anchor being, and that's going to be Tom Holland Spider-Man. So it's going to put Tom Holland Spider-Man at odds with RDJ Doctor Doom. And I think RDJ Doctor Doom is going to kill Spider-Man because there was a plan to have Peter Parker die in Spider-Man 4 and then be resurrected by the symbiote. I think they're just going to make that now happen in Doomsday. Either way, that's cool. Really cool details. But the next part's really awesome too, and it has to do with some of this. And this is Daniel RPK reporting that Spider-Man 4 and Doomsday are both going to film in early 2025. And basically, Marvel and Sony made the schedules around Doomsday and Spider-Man 4 to take place at like basically the same time. So Tom Holland is going to be filming as Spider-Man in 2025, like at the start of 2025, for both the next Avengers movie and Spider-Man 4? Oh my God, bro. This is bananas. This technically means that Spider-Man 4 could potentially come out before Doomsday, which would be crazy. We still don't exactly know how that's going to work. But even if Spider-Man 4 comes out after Doomsday, these movies are going to have such connective tissue. It's going to be huge. I mean, and by the way, W for Sony, right? Sony probably is so happy that now the next Tom Holland Spider-Man movie is going to tie in to the Avengers movie with RDJ as Doctor Doom. I know there are still people that have mixed feelings about RDJ Doctor Doom, right? But you cannot deny how popular this is. That video's like top 15 Instagram videos of all time of him coming out as Doctor Doom. Normies are hyped. Everybody's interested. I know there's a lot of skeptics, but dude, from Sony's perspective, they're probably like, chuff ching, dude. But okay, so the movies are going to have this incredible connective tissue, right? But there's other things that this implies, like Tom Hardy's Venom could technically then be in Doomsday as well. Why do I say that? Because, I mean, if they're all filming all that shit at the same time and Tom Hardy's Venom is in Spider-Man 4, you could definitely see that character connect there. You could also see Avengers show up in Spider-Man 4. Spider-Man 4 is open season now, especially if it's a Battle World movie and they're filming it during Avengers Doomsday. Guys, this is a way bigger deal than I think people are making it out online. I think it opens up a ton of doors, a ton of possibilities. I'm really interested in what you think is going to happen. And of course, I'm going to be watching this shit like a hawk. Anything that happens, anything that's announced, anything that's even hinted at, I will cover it here. Now, the last thing we got to talk about in this video was something that My Time to Shine Hello said in response to Daniel scooping the fact that Spider-Man 4 and Doomsday are both going to film in 2025, either back-to-back or at the same time. Like, they're filming it all in 2025. Shine says here, interesting, here's what I heard about Holland lately. There's a new Spider-Man Sony deal that will have Tom Holland reprising his role as Spider-Man / Peter Parker in 3 more solo films. This will be Spider-Man 4, 5, and 6. And 3 additional MCU films, including Secret Wars and 2 others. The previous deal only covered No Way Home and Avengers Doomsday, and a part of the deal was for him to have a huge role in the Avengers films. Okay, what? Oh my God, bro, that's actually huge. So first of all, it means that No Way Home and Doomsday were a part of his old contract, right? So we've got 6 more movies on Tom Holland's contract. Oh my God. Those movies would include Spider-Man 4, 5, and 6, and then 3 additional MCU movies, including Secret Wars. So what that means is there are 2 mystery movies that Tom Holland Spider-Man is going to appear in. And of course, the deal is in place for him to be a big part of the Avengers movies. Sony really wants that. I talked about that earlier in this video, but it's just obvious, right? I mean, Sony wants their movies, Spider-Man and Secret Wars, to all be connected. Like, the Avengers movies are going to be huge, dude. So it'll be really huge for Sony if they get Tom Holland Spider-Man in those movies, and then they do the majority of producing on several other movies with Tom Holland. Another thing that's cool about this scoop from Shine is that it indicates that these extra movies are indeed MCU movies. So I was partially thinking maybe these would be Sony movies that would be not Spider-Man movies, like more Venom movies, maybe Spider-Verse films or something like that. But no, according to this scoop, these are MCU movies. So again, I think this could either be your Captain America Brave New World movie, your Thunderbolts movie, maybe just to like give extra oomph to those films, or he's going to show up in the Battle World movies. This would be maybe Spider-Man 4, maybe Doctor Strange 3, maybe the Scarlet Witch movie, and maybe Thor 5. However, if you think about this, there are still 2 more Spider-Man movies that are going to take place after Secret Wars that Tom Holland will be a part of. So it's possible that the movies will be saved for after Secret Wars, and then we'll have 2 more MCU movies with Tom Holland Spider-Man, and then maybe they would renegotiate for more. As I said in one of my previous videos, I think with the soft rebooted MCU coming, Kevin Feige is looking for every angle and everything he could possibly do to make sure there's so many dope characters, all the Marvel characters under one roof, and of course, Tom Holland Spider-Man would help the new universe out. People would be excited to see him hanging out with the X-Men, Fantastic Four, Avengers, all of that. And so there you have it. Absolutely epic updates with regards to Tom Holland Spider-Man, RDJ Doctor Doom, Doomsday, Secret Wars, this new contract with Sony and Venom. There's still a lot of questions here, but we're getting more details, and I love bringing these details to you guys, speculating about it, tying it to other pieces of news, all of that. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below, and as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.